I've pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's Mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.
Flavor essence from cradle meat. This extract goes into our tea, while the flavorless sediment is used to increase the protein content.
Show your work or shove off.
Happy to chat for 0.07 seconds. Oh, time's up. Bye.
Hello. Farewell. Thank you for this efficiently compact conversation.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Sensible. Straight to business, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach? Since losing access to the archive, the Order has been forced to limit its open exchange of ideas and information to avoid contaminating what few predictions we can still make.
We don't use that word, prophecy. Our predictions are strictly a matter of mathematical calculation. But, in layman's terms, that is the objective, yes.
The Archive is a vast network of computational machines built beneath the ice of Cloister. Prior to the invasion, the Order used it to generate predictions on a vast scale. But listen to me prattling on. I'm sure you aren't here for a history lesson. Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble? Such a statement implies the opposite is also true.
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with N-rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Fascinating. Your fear response must be suffering from some impairment. Likely the result of a traumatic brain injury. I'd have to open you up to be sure.
A generous offer, my friend, but I don't think the agent is interested in exploratory surgeries at the moment. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. Oh, indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal of pressure on me to navigate what is a rather novel situation. Without Wiley, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Many lives depend on him, on us both. Why, Matriarch's Mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development. That is a statue of the Matriarch, Alexandra Varric, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
If we must break our backs for the Order, I'd prefer to start at the manufacturing. I admit to some minor curiosity as to what transpired there.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict within 8...
Stranger. Vexing. We're at the mercy of the Order, and the Order is at the mercy of their predictions. Not to insult our gracious hosts, but these people don't wipe themselves unless an equation tells them to.
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Investigated the containers? If not, do. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective.
Friends, neighbors, while you
Sub Rosa thanks you for your patronage. What fine contraband might I supply you with this day? Savvier than you look. Might be that I've got an agent over by the Guardian Estates that I haven't heard from in a spell. If you perhaps find yourself over that way, and perhaps make sure that the aforementioned agent hasn't been torn limb from limb, Sub Rosa would be most grateful.
Go on, get at it. Don't make me call Mapother and Mudge over. They don't. They don't like no fighting for free.
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere. Or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. I prefer doing my shooting after asking all the pertinent questions, Commander. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Once endured a week-long bombardment in a foxhole with only enough rations to last 3 days. Screams went on twice that long. Some of us still ain't fully recovered. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
My knowledge here is sore.
The paradigm. The grand plan is the predetermined order to the entire universe. We can predict it down to a decimal.
Anybody needs me, I'll be right here patiently awaiting my latest personalized order prediction.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely, extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. Thanks to you, our automechanical doctor has been dispensing medication and setting broken limbs with tireless efficiency. Take this. On behalf of the Order and the displaced, I thank you. Now, will there be anything else? Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair. Hello again, stranger. How can I be of service?
This unit is taking inventory of its medicinal stockpile.
So Adam's Choice administrators were satisfied with this.
I'd offer a personalized order.
Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The Oracle?
Please, not so close.
Welcome back. I assume you're not here for that debate. Anything I can do to assist you? Oh, of course. What would you like to discuss? Apart from providing them sustenance, shelter, and scientific ministry, you mean? Need I remind you, Arcadia is at war. This is what war looks like, I'm afraid. The Order is operating within a very reasonable framework to provide as much aid as it can. Alexandra Monastery is a place of sacred study, advancing our understanding of the plan. We cannot jeopardize that vital work all for the comfort of a few. I haven't the wish to debate you on this any further. Please, let us move on to less controversial topics. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it?
The duties of an administrator never end. Exemplary. Our scienticians reported they were most impressed with the thoroughness of your inquiry. The displaced must deeply appreciate your careful consideration. And me, by proxy as well, as your ardent and industrious facilitator. Go speak with the voice of the displaced. I will meet you there shortly, and finally, we can bring this to a close.
What happened to this place? Law.
Oh. Administrant Agrawal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Speaking as a representative of the Order, we will abide by the Mediator's decision if you do the same.
Agreed.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands. Speak on then.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
But our predictions are given to inform and protect, not to frighten. Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
Mathematics is the hidden language of the universe which unites us all. The closer we come to understanding it, the closer we come to true understanding.
Haven't heard that much sugarcoating outside of an anti-suppository ad. But fine. Whatever you say. You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
Fair enough. The Order does keep us refugees fed and plenty, medicated. To give credit, as I do with blame, where it's due. I'm all ears, Mediator.
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd. And I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. Our standard response to tomfoolery is to assign the offender to community betterment detail. But I'll take it under advisement. I understand you were crucial in securing additional medical personnel for Matriarch's Mercy. Thank you.
Yeah, much appreciated. Way to go above and beyond. Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
Do you find this concession acceptable?
I'm not convinced. Resources are one thing. We still need the exclusion zone.
Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure. More of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established order construction guidelines. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator.
Sounds to me like your sympathies lie with the Order. But I'll let you say so before I go leaping to any conclusions. Shit. Very well, Administrant. You win. I'll honor the terms of the mediation. Let's hope your math was right.
Have faith. Or, if not faith, reason. We can still work together to improve conditions around Matriarch's Mercy. Your reward, Mediator, with my thanks. I now consider the matter decisively closed.
What happened to this place? This place. Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Close quarters.
Speak briefly for what you have. Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. The invaders, order defected.
Seems the Order was not prepared for such an influx of refugees.
What you think about, you bring about. The Order advocates for no less than 6 hours of uninterrupted rumination on the universal equation of death.
Stranger, the Order bids you welcome, but also warnings. In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end. Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken.
Well, it weren't our artillery that made that strike. I can tell you that much.
They must have done something to provoke an attack, which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's Mercy. The Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack. Cultists, mad to the last one. I believe they worship the rifts or some such. People will turn to anything to ease their discomfort during times of crisis, I suppose. They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence. They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes. There are several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance. The creatures are of the genus Verachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
All our efforts add to the equation.
I don't see anything else coming. Was it just the one?
Diagnostic mode disabled. Re-engaging security protocols. Complete. Beginning patrol for hostile elements.
There's a strange sort of humor in the onset of the first war in Arcadia's history, within a few days of my being assigned here. As far from Protectorate society as possible, Golden Ridge suffers under an invading force, and moreover, it appears that our Order colleagues have betrayed us. At first, I lamented my isolation, but I've realized I was where I needed to be of service. The scores of abandoned subjects need a leader. I have enlisted the staff at these estates to help accept the first influx of still loyal Protectorate refugees. More shall come. I shall lead them out of the shadows and into the light. For the good of the Protectorate. This is my calling.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
Prosecuting!
Commander, you're not quite charged yet.
shall reduce them to a slurry!
Recharging as fast as it can, Commander!
Raring to go. Getting healed.
Someone call for a medic.
Our commander hangs from a thread!
Medkit coming your way!
Prosecuting! Viscerally!
Sight unseen. On the way. To the rescue. Sight unseen. Medical pack out. Commander, you're bleeding. Little pick-me-up for you. Rack's ready if you need a house call.
You have my thanks and my hand.
Architect, I hope this does not turn back into an active war. This is the Order's anti-air control center. If you don't have specific business here, Architect, I hope this does not turn back into an active war.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zerania Manufactory 7, presently and for an indeterminate time, is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the Abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Maytucking. Am I to understand you have orders from the Abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see the sword. Building on the left.
Right over here. You're not getting down below until you talk to me. So, the Abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's Choice. One of our transport pods filled with Zeranium was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. No, it doesn't add up particularly well, does it? Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. No, thankfully. Not yet, at any rate. Architect willing, that will be the last of it. Now, you'd best speak with our proctor. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
It evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zeranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and flinders.
Wait, so has it been classified as an accident? Or an attack?
What I'd like to know is why our illustrious seer provided no warning beforehand.
Conversation is not possible at this or any time. Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
What are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. We launch transport pods into space regularly. They get collected. The Zeranium we refine here is used for power. It wasn't until we heard the explosion that anyone knew anything out of the ordinary had happened. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a report on my findings, actually, if you'd like to hear it. A transport pod full of Zeranium was fired from here, at Outpost Opportunity. It subsequently exploded in spectacular fashion. A low-ranking scientician. Been here for years. Presumably she's below in operations. Regrettably, that is all I know. Now, if you'll excuse me. Doctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess. Explosion.
Well, running a manufacturing plant requires extraordinary, fastidious.
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. What's her name took over?
I'm not clear to speak with random factors. I'm not clear to speak with random factors.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. Low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. But I'm now realizing how little we actually know about her. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alpha seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Fervent professements of innocence, mostly. You know, exactly what you'd expect a secret traitress to claim. Dramatic attestations that grew quite animated. I suppose spies must build up a flair for histrionics. What with all that, hiding their identities and all. Then bursting forth like a pent-up arachnid. At any rate, I have work to do, and you have a saboteur to eliminate, yes? Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
Apologies. This unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
Try not to deviate from the norm.
Please don't take me on a cotangent.
We're still in lockdown, so I take it you haven't shot the traitor yet. Failed to see the point, but if you must...
Now, this is important. Would you describe the Varachnids' Calicity as slathered when it attacked? How much viscous fluid would you estimate was involved?
I don't know anything about the fluid's volume. Thing attacked. I shot it. There's goo all over the spot it emerged. Measure that, maybe.
This unit's current work task... task takes priority over
2
conversation.
exemplars, dead as Pythagoras. No one's been inside operation since. Just a run-of-the-mill golden mean initiate.
Don't listen to yourself. You're disproving your own substantiation. Her actions prove otherwise, I'd contend. Hello, layperson.
Hello, farewell. Thank you for the sufficiently
Of course, she's hiding something. You think those 2 exemplars just fell wrong? They're hardly prone to involuntary self-injury. Alva's been here for how many years? I never noticed her. Just blended in with the scenery somehow.
Factor said head on in.
Caused trouble in our school.
I've got your
Chapter and
numerals.
verse. Glad those
Keep
not
moving.
skilled at math can fulfill some other function. I only question them being in roles of significant authority.
Investigator? May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded.
Always account for standard deviation.
May all your theories prove true.
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit controls our matter.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it they're sending now? And who are you, dear? Your what? Some maverick for hire. Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Ah, an Auntie's Choice crafted soldier. You poor dear. And someone else. Could that be a Protectorate arbiter? All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. I expect few in the Order know of you, but, well, I've kept to a role here that is purposely not very taxing. Others prefer calculations in their spare time. I have my stories. Between launches, I enjoyed serials, two-bit dreadfuls, periodicals. I adore Zane and Buddy, even if they are considered contraband. And you decidedly share their upright bearing. For the longest time, I didn't realize your organization actually existed. But here you are, well-timed and, no doubt, eager to help. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though technically speaking, they did kill each other. I didn't mean that to happen. They came at me, weapons drawn. My own training just took over. You see, years ago, I attended an introductory course at the Physical Education Center. I earned top marks. I've refused a few promotions over the years. Undemanding work provides me ample personal time for my stories. I enjoy speculative fiction. Does that make me suspicious?
Were you Protectorate? Absolutely. But within the Order? I'm sure you're typically atypical.
Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that reassuring enough? Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too dissuaded by them, though.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Well, hello. Have an update to share with Initiate Alva?
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. You suspect me somehow? One must keep one's eyes wide open in such times, I suppose. Now, I believe you had an update for Initiate Alva.
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to affect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think? I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
That Svoboda would have made a good arbiter. Oh, just a little jest. No, she struck me an over-officious buffoon.
You're hurt, Commander. Steel yourself.
Shall stand against us! You must keep your blood within, Commander! Ready to dispense judgment!
May all your theories prove true.
Always account for standard deviation.
That Svoboda would have made a good arbiter. Oh, just a little jest. No, she struck me an over-officious buffoon.
All charged up.
Your judgment has passed on the authority of the sovereign.
Someone call for a medic. Let's get you healed. Happy to help. Discreetly.
Our commander hangs from a thread.
Practicing some battlefield medicine.
I am primed to no suspects in sight. I am loath to admit I require medical assistance.
plenty of managers like Svoboda back on Tau Ceti. He couldn't take responsibility for nothing.
In due time, I'm unready. I am primed to punish. Of the authority of the thumb!
To the rescue! Sight unseen!
No battlefield decorum.
Finally, a favorable happenstance. After I became stuck in here, those organisms appeared, all hungry-eyed and slavering profusely. The door jammed. Not sure how. Worked perfectly acceptably earlier. Depends on your level of moxie and know-how, I suspect. Let me think. You could try jimmying the door open if you have engineering expertise, or I don't know, engage in a routine advanced physical regime. Otherwise, the safety reset is in a wall panel around the corner, though that seems a bit boring for a dynamic sort like you. Of course, apologies. I extrapolate solutions when I'm nervous.
Prosecuting! You must keep your blood within, Commander!
Little pick-me-up for ya!
At your word, I shall charge!
Perhaps back in business.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Well, again, I deeply appreciate your skillful aid. Careful on your way out. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. May all your endeavors elicit expected.
Taking punitive action.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush. Or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
To battle!
Rest tingling, all charged up.
Unleash my might upon no longer.
On the way.
On the authority of the sovereign.
has been in there a while now.
Investigate. Investigator.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
You'd think if she were responsible for the attack, she'd have happily thrown it in my face.
May circumstances proceed toward intended results. Always account for standard deviation.
Yes, suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. What else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results.
Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.